Running a cake business is like being on a reality show. There's drama, deadlines, and occasional cake disasters. If you ever felt exhausted, overworked, and on the verge of quitting, then this episode is for you. Hello, my sweet friend. I am Cristina Arevalo, a cake decorator, coach, and teacher, and I am here to empower my fellow cake artists to unleash their creativity and unite as a strong cake community. Whether you are a seasoned professional or just starting out, this podcast is here to support and empower you on your cake decorating journey. Let me coach you for success by setting achievable goals, understanding that managing your time and having a positive mindset, knowing your customers, and learning how to teach your craft are all as important as flour, sugar, and eggs. I'll share what has worked for me from a very personal and relatable perspective. My goal is to help you establish your presence, reduce stress related to time and working hours, and engage in cake collaborations and competitions. Eventually, you could become that featured cake artist in a magazine or teach at international events just like me. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast.
Pack your body bags. We're going on a slaycation. Tim, what's a slaycation?
A slaycation is a murder or mysterious death that happens while you're on vacation.
If you like to mix humor with horror and travel,
Join me, Kim Davis,
And me, Adam Tex Davis.
and me, Jerry Colbert,
as we look at the craziest slaycations that will have you asking, what the F is wrong with people? You can find Slaycation on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
Just remember, getting away can be murder.
Well, hello, my sweet friends. How are you today? Christina here. Welcome to another episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Today, we're talking about the 5 mistakes that can make your business a nightmare, and more importantly, how to fix them so you can thrive or maybe even sleep once in a while. Because I know you, I know I've been there, and I know how much we stretch all the energy and all of the time that we have in order to make our cake business happen, if it's not to make it profitable or just to sell the cakes. And I know the toll that we pay physically, emotionally, and with our family. So this episode is for you if you ever feel burned out, stressed, don't know where to start, and actually you're in the verge of quitting because you're just tired. So don't be tired and don't quit. Stay with me because this episode is about to start. Hey, my sweet friend, if you like this episode and enjoy this podcast, there is only one thing I want from you. Please like, follow, and leave me a started review in any of your favorite podcast platform where you're listening to this podcast now. This way, this program can keep growing. The algorithm will show it to more cake artists who will benefit from it. Download the episode, share it on your social media, and tag me, and I'll gladly tag you and follow you back. I would love to hear what you have to say. You can leave me a voice message on Anchor, Spotify for podcasters, answer the questions and polls on the episode, or leave me a comment on my social media. Even if you don't like what I say, I would love to hear your opinion. And let me invite you to follow me on Instagram as at the Art K Coach or in any of my social media accounts. I'll leave you all the links in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Art K Coach podcast. Well, my sweet friends, this last month, the month of March, today we're starting the first episode of April, and we're warming up for what's coming in May for the second quarter of the year. We're going to be full on time management. But before we get to our time management, we need to know what we're doing with our business. And the past 2 episodes have been great. I loved making the episodes. They had a great response. And both of the episode has had to do with very specific um aspects of our business. One was the management of our business. That was last episode where you could download the list of the management checklist for your cake business. And it was a success. Thank you so much to everyone who downloaded, because I think it's one of the most download free templates here on the podcast. So and I had a great feedback from it, because we need basics. We need to just like, what am I, and we need structure, we need strategy. What is it that I have to do next? So the list was really good. I really enjoy doing it. I have to say, even I'm putting it on practice, because it happens to all of us. We all tend to overwork, overwhelm ourselves with a lot of things and be all over the place. So having that structure was amazing. And the other one was about the pricing. Also great response about that episode as well. So keeping the note on the business management, because I hear you and I know this is what you want to know. I heard your comments, I've heard your feedbacks, and everything you said about the last episodes. So being on that note, I decided to do this episode today about the usual mistakes that we make, and survival mistakes. That I just call the episode, the 5 cake business survival mistakes and how to fix them. You've heard me mention this before in different episodes, but let's just sum it up in today's episode and see how can we fix it. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Listen to this one. So mistake number 1, and I'm gonna call it, I'll make any cake trap. It's saying yes to everything. As we know, if we say yes to everything, we're going to be stressed, we're going to burn out, we're going to feel overwhelmed, and we're going to resent it. You know, that wedding cake, sure. Last minute birthday cake, of course. 3-day dragon cake by tomorrow, sure, why not? I'll do it. How do we fix this? First of all, we need to learn to say no and set clear boundaries, having a pricing minimum and lead time for orders. We've talked about this before, but it's always a good time to remind you that that is important. Mistake number 2, and we mentioned that in the previous episode, is pricing based on feelings and not facts. Well, this cake feels like it should be around 50. I guess. No. What is the problem? If you're guessing, you're probably undercharging. So, how do we fix this? Remember, you should have a pricing formula. There are many resources out there. I mentioned this in the episode before. Maybe a pricing calculator. I have great cake coaching colleagues who have amazing tools for pricing, and it should include everything: ingredients, time, overhead, all of it. Mistake number 3, I'm going to call this the solo superhero syndrome. And I used to suffer from this, so pay attention. Trying to do it all by yourself. Baking, decorating, answering messages, marketing, accounting, cleaning, and maybe sleeping. Who needs sleeping? Sleeping is overrated. No. Why is this a problem? Doing everything alone stunts your business growth and lead you to be overwhelmed, burnout, and stress. How do we fix it? Because you're going to say, Christina, what do you mean? I need to hire people? I'm not even making enough money to pay myself. Okay, stop there. You can automate things. You can delegate some things. You can streamline your work, like using order forms, templates, or even hire. They're very low cost virtual assistants that can help you with admin tasks, or maybe your niece or your little sister or your brother's cousin, or your brother's cousin, or your brother or your cousin, somebody who could say, you know what, when I have a lot of work, I'm going to give you this little extra and you can help me with this. Maybe somebody at your family, maybe your mom who has nothing to do. I don't know. Not that moms have nothing to do. My mom's pretty busy, but somebody that could help you. So you don't need to go hire help, but maybe somebody could help you for a very low price, and that could be a help. Mistake number 4, running your business without any systems. Oh, I keep all my orders in my head. What could go wrong? Oh, everything will go wrong because you know what? You know what's going to happen? You're going to miss orders, you're going to forget details, and you're going to be in constant stress. How do we fix that? We can use tools like order trackers, calendars, and automated invoices to stay organized, or just a pen and a paper. I mean, a notebook, pen and paper, and you're good to go. Mistake number 5, ignoring work life balance. And I'm going to call this the cake zombie effect. Have you seen those? Oh, I've seen plenty of my cake friends in the zombie, that look like zombie apocalypse happened to them, but it's because they were baking. Oh, I can't come to dinner. I have cakes. Oh, I can't sleep. I have cakes. Oh, I can't breathe. I have cakes. It's like you have everything in your lives revolves around baking the cakes, and you have no time for anything in your life but your business. Why is this a problem? It's going to lead you to exhaustion. Oh my God, this word exhaustion. And eventually, you're going to be hating what you do. You're going to hate your business and you just want to quit. That's all what's going to happen. How do we fix that? Well, Christina, learn to say exhaustion first. How do we fix that? Set work hours, schedule breaks, and protect your personal life. All of these mistakes, you have heard me hundreds of times talking about this. And I have for many, many years uh, we love Cercino and we love its digital magazine. Cercino's free monthly magazine, We Love Pastry, is a monthly digital magazine bursting with absolutely incredible, easy to follow, and unique cake tutorials created by very talented artists from around the globe. Interesting interviews and blogs. You can also win products worth £50 and much more. You have cake tutorials, product information, cake events, cake collaboration, and you name it. Don't miss the free digital magazine every month by clicking in the link on the description of this episode. Thank you, We Love Pastry, for sponsoring today's episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. All of these mistakes that I mentioned before, you have heard me talk about this in other episodes. You have heard me talking about how important it is to balance your life and your work, to run your business, to have some sort of system. Don't want to do it all by yourself. And I used to suffer from this a lot. Still is like my default. My default is to go and try to do everything by myself, but when I see the stress building up, I'm like, okay, now I either reduce the load of work that I have or ask for help. And I try to automatize as much as I can. There are many tools out there that you can use. Pricing. I mean, we had episodes about pricing, and don't say yes to everything. Learn to say no. All of these mistakes, we have covered them before. But why do I keep repeating myself? Why do I keep saying the same thing? Because we're still, as cake artists, making the same mistake, no matter how many times me and all the other cake coaches and everybody out there has told you not to do it. Because we feel that if we don't do everything, if we don't overwork ourselves, if we don't price nicely so I won't lose my clients, my business will not make it. And it's not true. It's not true. It's the other way around. Actually, this morning I was listening to another podcast. I'm a podcast. I love making my podcast, but I love listening to podcasts. I'm a podcast addict. And when I go out with the dog, I usually no, I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to podcasts. And this morning, it was funny because one of the girls that I was listening to, it was about marketing strategies, email listing, and course launching. And she said something that really resonated with me. It's like the problems that we have in all kinds of business, because this was not cake related, but in all the entrepreneurs, business owners, small business owners, people who are trying to, make their business just happen, just grow, make some money and be profitable. We all have the same feeling that we need to do things in a certain way, because if we don't do it in a certain way, it won't it won't happen. But she said something that really resonated with me, which was, listen to your own voice, listen to yourself, listen to your body, and see what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It doesn't have to be the same for everyone, but the core mistakes are usually the same. How you fix those mistakes, how you see yourself overcoming all of that, it has to be what's comfortable for you. So I keep talking about this because it doesn't matter how many tools I give you, I still hear that the you're still tired, you're still working overtime, you're not balancing your work, your life and your work, you're neglecting yourself, you're overwhelmed, and you need to find that solution that really works for you. And whatever it is, if it works for you, it's good. It's good. It doesn't have to be what I say, but you have to address the core issue, and the core issue is this. So don't go anywhere, because in the next part, I'm going to give you a cake business survival plan so you can overcome all of the things that I just mentioned. Just some ideas. You can use your own, but I'm going to give you some ideas on how to overcome this. Hello, my sweet friend. Let me invite you to subscribe to the Art Cake Coach podcast exclusive content platform. By becoming a member, you'll get exclusive monthly content and access to audio classes and workshops on goal setting, time management, social media posting, pricing mindset, and teaching. Get access to exclusive bonus content for only €2.99 a month. Check out the link to subscription platform on the description of this episode. Let me help you on your cake journey and coach you for success here at the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my friends. We are back with this episode. And as I mentioned before, today, or in this part, I'm going to give you your cake business survival plan. It's a plan, it's an idea. It doesn't have to be exactly what I said, but here are just some things to enlighten you to see if any of this could actually work for you. So, we talked about the 5 mistakes that we usually make. What happens to these mistakes if we keep making these mistakes? We don't know how to handle burnout. We can get into difficult clients. We can not manage well or work-life balance. And if you're doing any of this, you might be a cake business owner on the edge. Um, don't panic. If you recognize yourself in any of these mistakes, don't panic. We all been there, and there is a way out. So we talk about these 5 mistakes that we can make for or in your cake business, and that it feels like a never-ending struggle. Now, let's get into the solutions, your survival plan to fix these issues and make your business work for you and not the other way around. So, number 1, create your yes and no list. Maybe this will be good for a fix for saying yes to everything. Remember the mistake where you said say to everything? Well, this could be a good fix for that. So write down what kinds of cakes or orders you love to do and what aligns to your skills. When you have that and somebody calls you and says, "Oh, I want, a spinning cake with fireworks." Well, that's not in my list. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. Set clear policies. What's your minimum order price? How much lead time do you need? And do you take last minute orders? And if you charge extra for last minute orders, have that very clear so when people call you or email you or message you, you will know what to say and you will have an actionable plan. You can even write a script for saying no politely but firmly. Like, "Thank you for thinking of me. Unfortunately, I'm fully booked, but I would love to work with you in the future. Here is when I'll be available again." Okay, if it's a time thing. So there are ways to have this fixed so you don't feel like you're saying no and that you're missing out. The mistake number 2 was guessing the prices. How do we fix that? Simple, easy. Set up a pricing formula. Make sure you cover everything: ingredients, time, overhead, and profit. Use a profit calculator or a spreadsheet to keep you consistent or to keep things consistent. So, if you don't have a pricing guide yet, take one of your most popular cake designs and break it down its cost today. You might be surprised how much you're charging or how much you're undercharging. And remember, as I mentioned before, there are many uh, cake pricing calculators out there from, but please find the pricing calculators from either cake artists or cake coaches because they know who they're talking. I do not go there. I mentioned this before, but I have great cake coaching friends and cake coaching guests on this episode, on this podcast. And I know a lot of cake artists who do have this formula. So you can go and find the one that works for you and stick to that one. Another of the mistakes was trying to do it all. So, how do we fix that? Automate and delegate. Identify tasks that drain your time, like responding to the same customer questions. You can have, a usual Q&A in your website or on a document that you can send to your clients for the usual questions, and that will save you time wasting. Invoicing and tracking orders, that can all be automated, so you don't have to start from scratch every time somebody asks you for a cake. Set up automated response for frequently questions. Use online forms, order forms, and consider outsourcing small tasks like social media and scheduling. If you don't have money to, or if your business is not that big in order to pay somebody to do it, there are tools that can do it for you. Actually, even the social media platforms have scheduling, not apps, I don't know, calendars in it. If you have Canva, or Canva Pro, I think Canva Pro has the scheduling of social media, so you can schedule your posts there. Work in batch. So one day is for social media content and scheduling social media content, and you forget about that for the rest of the week. You can do that. If you spend too much time answering DMs, creating a pin post, or Instagram highlights with your frequent orders process, you need to automate a few things, right? Mistake number 4 was running without a system, right? How will we fix that? We build a simple system to stay organized. Hello, we have the time management planner for cake artists. So you can use a planner, you can use order trackers, you can use business management tools like Google Sheets, there's so many Excels, whatever you want, whatever works for you. But remember, the planner is on my website. I will leave in the links here on the description of the episode. With the purchase of the planner, you also have access to our private, it's kind of a membership community on Facebook, and it's a very low price, and we get together there every 15 days, but weekly I'm always leaving information there. We follow up on the episodes and we work together. We had our last week, we had our sort of coaching call together, and it was really fun. Meeting everybody, like we had people from Canada, people from South Africa, so it was fun. And it's great to get that sense of community. So you can use a planner. In the time management planner for cake artists, I have templates and trackers for everything that you can check there. So my what what I recommend you to do is, even if it is my planner or if it's another planner, have a weekly planning session so you will know what to do each week, just to review upcoming orders, shopping list, and business tasks, everything that you need to do. Set aside about 30 minutes a week to create your order workflow, and have a checklist, right, from inquire to delivery, so you never forget a step of what needs to be done. Mistake number 5, ignoring personal time. What do we do for that? We protect your work-life balance. Set official working hours, like you were working in an office, and stick to them. No answering to DMs at midnight, not receiving, not answering back to responding emails or receiving calls in the middle of the night. Schedule personal time just like you schedule orders, because burnout won't help your business. Pick one non business activity to add back into your routine this week, like a hobby, a coffee break, meeting with your girlfriends, and a day off. Why not? But plan it in your calendar. Actually, I'm gonna start doing that. I'm saying it to you, and you know what? I'm gonna start doing that because I do have a very clear time schedule. I do not answer to emails or to DMs after certain hours. If you know me and if you try to reach me, I'll answer you the next day. Mostly because I'm asleep very early. I'm an early sleeper. I sleep early. I wake up early. So yeah, it's probably going to be answered the next day. But I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start um, planning on my uh, a day off a month. I'm going to do that. A day off a month, and I will tell you all about it later. And a special activity a week. I will do that. I will do that. We all need it. We all need it. Final thought, my sweet friends. Build a business that works for you and that you love. Because what happens with the mistakes that we just mentioned before is we're going to start hating what we do. And we don't want to hate what we do, right? You're not just a cake artist, you're a business owner. And I mentioned that in the episode before. And a successful business owner runs on boundary, pricing strategy, organization, and self care. A successful business, a business owner, a successful business. And if you're a business owner, you have to set those boundaries, pricing strategies, organization, and self care. It is okay to adjust as you grow. It's going to happen. But the sooner you put these survival strategies in place, the sooner you will feel the control of your business. And it's all about that. It's about not feeling like you're all over the place, right? Like you're just like in a tennis match looking back and forth and you don't know what you're doing. No, I don't want you to feel like that. I'm going to be creating this list on a PDF that you can check on my website. So you can have this like a checklist, like the one that I made for the business management, but a cake business survival checklist. So check out the notes in the episode because in there you will find everything you need. Remember, running a cake business isn't easy, but you don't have to do it in a hard way. I really want you to listen to this episode, think about all of the things that you're doing and all of the things that you could do better. And check out the checklist that I'm going to leave here in the description. Is for you. It's just for you to see the mistakes that you're making and how to fix them. And remember, if you need any help in anything that I mentioned before, I'm here for you. You can find me in many ways. Okay, here's a podcast. I have the subscription platform of the podcast with the classes, the website, the groups online, and the newsletter is going around too as well. And it's coming up with a lot of juicy stuff in it just for you and for your cake business. So go check it out. I'm going to be leaving the links of all of the places where you can find my help here on the podcast. And with this, my sweet friends, I say goodbye today, as I always say goodbye every week. And I really hope that these mistakes we're making, we're not going to make it any longer. So where business can run smoothly and happily, and we can focus on what we really love, which is creating cakes. So thank you so much for listening. And as always, my friends, stay safe and stay creative. I'll see you next time. As your cake coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you and I want you to stay safe and stay creative.